Hello, in this video we're looking at issue 57 of Warhammer Imperium magazine, adding a second Necron Tomb Blade to our collection, and then learning more about building armies in our battle report. Hello, I'm Will, and this is Mike with the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
And in this video we're bringing you issue 57 of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium magazine. This issue came with a second Tomb Blade model for the Necrons. If you'd like to see that in action, you can use chapter bars or a time code in the description to skip ahead, but as usual we'll just have a look through the issue first. So to start, we learn about Saint Celestine, the living saint, who was once a battle sister of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, but then miraculously came back to life after being slain in battle against some heretics, and has since appeared in many places across the Imperium as a sort of shining winged figure who turns up in the Imperium's darkest hours and leads their forces to victory. You can see that she's been reborn several times, having seemingly fallen in battle but then come back again, and as she fights as a sort of divine champion, slaying the forces of chaos. Although some Puritan inquisitors have become a little bit suspicious of her, after all it does look an awful lot like witchery. Now we have a bit about Warzone Sithosa. This is a system where some Space Marines from various chapters, having fought for many months, went to resupply in the Calixis sector, but when they got there they discovered that the planets had actually fallen to heresy, so they ended up having to fight them as well. And there's a couple of the lesser-known chapters there that fought there, the Fire Lords and the Mantis Warriors, and a bit about the planet of Hediarth, which had some Battle Sisters on it, but mostly have fallen to heresy, and the Battle Sisters were just left holding out. Now we have background on the Death Watch, which is a specialist chapter of Space Marines devoted to hunting aliens. It's made up of battle brothers from many chapters, those who show aptitude for fighting aliens, who are recommended to be seconded to the Death Watch for a period of time, where they learn even more advanced alien hunting techniques, and form mixed squads from many chapters. And they have use of specialised equipment not available to most Space Marines. And as it says, being drawn from many chapters means that a Death Watch kill team will typically consist of many different specialities, all of whom can be useful depending on the missions they have to partake in. There's a bit more about non-militant orders of the Adeptus Sororitas, because as well as the Sisters of Battle proper, there's also various other orders that do different things. The Orders Hospitalis function as battlefield medics for much of the Imperial forces, not just limited to the Battle Sisters, but also the Astra Militarum and other forces as well. The Orders Dialogus are expert scholars and advisors on non-human texts and code breaking, and so they aid Imperial forces with those kind of things when necessary. The Orders Famulus are chamberlains, advisors and diplomats who help Imperial noble families stay true to the Imperial creed and also act as emissaries for the families to which they're attached. And the Orders Pronatus, who guard holy relics of the Adeptus Sororitas and sometimes even accompany them into battle when they're brought out for purposes of uplifting the forces they're fighting with. And we have the build guide for the Tomb Blade. It's exactly the same as the other one to start with, the one we've already got. But this one, it says to equip with the Tesla cannons and the Nebula scope. So it's a slightly different silhouette to the one we've already got, but otherwise it's basically the same. And how to paint it. So again, this is the standard Necron scheme to start with. Then it suggests getting your other Tomb Blade as well and applying some more stages to that one, now that we've learned a few more techniques. Yeah, so bringing it up to the standard we've expected, and the same with the Necron Warriors, getting them and applying some more paints to them, and also doing their bases, which apparently have not been covered at this point. And there's what some of those models look like now, up to the stage we expect. And this issue also comes with another fold-out insert about the battle zone of Electia, the planet we've been fighting over for the past 17 issues or so, where the Necrons, despite initially having overwhelming force, struggled to beat the dogged Imperial defenders, and now that Imperial reinforcements have arrived, it's become more hotly contested, so the Necrons have been forced to throw even more reinforcements into the meat grinder, including some of the Triarch Praetorians sent by the Silent King himself to try and improve the situation. And there's actually a nice sort of strategic overview map of the planet here, detailing some of the areas that we recognise here, like the Basilica of Saint Marcius, but also some other places that we haven't fought over in our battles, so it's a bit more background on the planet as a whole. But that's it for the contents of this issue. I'll hand you over to Mike now, so we'll learn some new rules and get into our game.
So now we can get into today's mission. So there's been heavy fighting across Electia, and the Necrons have finally managed to reach the perimeter of the Basilica of Saint Marcius and are attempting to cross no man's land and force a breach, while the Imperium are trying to drive them back. So in the previous game we were able to choose which unit would command our armies. In this game we have set commanders, but we can choose between two armies. So I'll have a look at the Necron units first. So you can see in the HQ there, they have a Destroyer Lord, a Raw Warden and a Plasmancer. And then they can choose between 2 armies. The first army list has 2 units of 10 Warriors, a unit of 5 Immortals, 2 Tomb Blades, now we've got the new one, 2 Crypto Thralls on the Triarch Stalker, whereas the second army list has 3 Scorpec Destroyers, the Canoptek Plasmacite, 2 units of 3 Scarabs, the Spider, the Wraith and the 5 Flayed Ones. And it gives you some hints here about decisions you make when making your armies. So army list 1 is obviously much more shooty and has more models, so it's better for holding objectives, but the second army list is much faster and more melee focused, so it's actually better at actually taking objectives from the enemy in assault. Although it is worth noting, as it says, just pick whatever army you like the look of the most. And then for the Imperium, so the HQ, we have the Canoness and the 2 Tech Priests. The first army list is basically all of the Battle Sisters stuff, so the 10 Battle Sisters, the 5 Seraphim, the 4 Repentia, the Repentia Superior, the 3 Archoflagellants and the Penitent Engine, and then 3 Aggressors and 2 units of 5 Assault Intercessors. Whereas the second army list is all of the Mechanicus stuff, so 10 Skitarii Rangers, 3 Catapult Destroyers, and then also 3 Aggressors and 2 units of 5 Assault Intercessors. And once again, looking at the armies, if you want to make best use of the Battle Sisters' Sacred Rights, you obviously have to take the first army list, but if you want to use the Doctrina Imperatives, take the second army list and get the most out of the Tech Priests. And also army list 1 obviously has more morals, so it's better for holding objectives, whereas the second army list has much more firepower. And here we have today's mission, Breach the Walls. So you can see the battle mat down there is the battle mats from issue 4 and issue 38. There are 4 objectives, one sort of in the middle of the left hand half of the board, objectives 2 and 3 equidistant from the centre, and objective 4 is opposite objective 1. The 6 units deployment zone along each short edge. For the forces we have the 3 commanders each, and then you choose which army you want. For our objectives we have 1 progressive objective, which is Breach and Secure, which you gain 5 victory points each time you do the Breach and Secure action. 1 unit from your army can do that action at the end of your movement phase. If it is within range of any action marker, the action is completed at the end of your next command phase, as long as the unit performing it is still within range of the same action marker. The way it's written, it does seem as though you can only have 1 unit at a time do the action, so we're going to play it as written, so the other action markers are a bit redundant. And we also get to pick a secondary objective each as well, and whoever has the most victory points at the end wins. So we'll get the board set up, and after deployment you'll be able to see which armies we picked. Right, here we have an aerial view of the battlefield. Now after we finish deploying, you can see all 4 action markers. We got number 1 on the left, 2 and 3 along the centre line, and 4 on the right. Well, I won the roll off and I chose to be the defender, so I'm on the right hand side and the Necrons are on the left. Just about get all of the Necron deployment in one shot.
So I went for the army with the Triarch Stalker and the new Tomb Blade in it, so we can actually see that, but also because I didn't think the melee army looked like it would have a very good game against all the shooting stuff. So starting from the left, as you can see it, we've got 5 Immortals and 2 Crypto Thralls, the Triarch Stalker, the Plasmancer on the other side of its leg there. In the middle of the board is the Royal Warden, who will be my Warlord incidentally, and one of the units of Necron Warriors. On the far side is the unit of 2 Tomb Blades and the Scorpec Lord. And I've decided to put a unit of Necron Warriors with Gauss Reapers in Strategic Reserve, so they'll be arriving later. And I picked Attrition for a secondary objective in this game. A slight weirdness of not actually having any objective markers, which we'll talk about later, but I still think Attrition is a better choice in this game anyway.
So annoyingly there's a building in the way of my deployment, so I'll have to stand up to show you it. So as you can see, I went for Army 2. Starting from the left at the top of the board, we've got the 3 Aggressors, 1 unit of Assault Intercessors, it's the one with the Sergeant with the Plasma Gun. In the centre, we've got the Catapult Destroyers with the Tech Priest Dominus, who will be my Warlord, and the Tech Priest Engines here. We've got the Skitarii Rangers tucked behind the structure, and they've already made their free Ranger move before the start of the first battle round. I've got the Canoness tucked in there. For her Sacred Right, I've chosen the Passion. In case she does get into melee, she might get some extra attacks. And then there's the other units of Assault Intercessors down the bottom of the board. And my secondary objective is also Attrition.
And I should mention that I do not get command protocols in this game because I don't have any nobles.
And we're rolling off to see who chooses who goes first. Well, I won the roll-off. I think I'll choose to go first, so we'll head into Imperium turn 1. So in my command phase, I gain a command point and a miracle dice, which is a 4. For my Doctrine Imperatives and Canticle, I'm going to choose the Protector Imperative, which is +1 ballistic skill, -1 weapon skill, and my Canticle will be Benediction of the Omnissiah, because I want to maximise my shooting before any Cataphrons get killed. And I'll start at the bottom of the board for my movement, so Squad of Assault Intercessors has moved partially into the building and behind that pipe, Canoness following behind. Skitarii Rangers, the ones closest to the building, will climb up onto the roof, while the others will file into the lower floor, and they can all see the Necron Warriors from where they are. The Cataphrons have trundled up with the 2 Tech Priests behind, and the Tech Priest Engines here will start doing the action at the end of my movement phase. The other unit of Assault Intercessors and the Aggressors are moving up behind the blue cargo container. So now we're on to the shooting phase. I'll pick the Skitarii Rangers to shoot first, and I'll put the 6 galvanic rifles into those Necron warriors. The sniper will shoot at the Plasmancer. The arc rifle will shoot at the Trarch Stalker, because it does do bonus damage against vehicles, and then the plasma will go into the warriors as well. So we've got 12 shots from 6 galvanic rifles, and these hit on 3s, because -1 for moving with a heavy weapon, but +1 from the Imperative. And re-rolling 1s because of the Tech Priest, but that's a lot of 2s. Reroll that 1 into a 1. So it's only 6 hits. These wound on 4s, getting 3 wounds at AP-1.
Well, we've got 3 who are in cover from that angle, so 4s. Save 1.
2 plasma shots at warriors as well. That both hits, not supercharging, there's no need. Wounding on 3s, 1 wound.
That'll just be 1 more dead.
So it's 3 dead warriors. Do any of them come back?
5 rerolling 1s. We get 2 back. So 2 come back in front of the unit.
The sniper shot at the Plasmancer misses on it with a 2. I think I will actually spend a command point to re-roll that because I'm so disappointed in the sniper. He hits. Wounds on a 3, 6s do a mortal wound. 6 does a mortal wound. Oh, wounds with a mortal wound in addition.
6 to save. No, he did.
No, takes a mortal wound. Then the arc rifle has 1 shot at the Trarch Stalker, which hits. Sorry, +1 to hit. So wounds on a 4. It does not. Now my only other unit in range is the Cataphrone Destroyers, and I think I'm going to put all of their shots into the Trarch Stalker, and I will supercharge the heavy plasma. So we'll do the grab gun first. It has 5 shots hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. 2 1s. Getting a single hit. That wounds on a 5. Wait, wounds.
5 plus a vulnerable save. Succeeded.
2d6 heavy plasma shots. 3. Hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. So I'll reroll that 2 as well with Benediction. There we go, 2 hits. And these wound on 4s. 1 wound.
5 plus invulnerable. Nope, it goes through. I won't bother rerolling that because it's only 2 damage.
Yeah, takes 2 damage, and that's it. And that's it for my shooting and my turn. On to Necron's turn 1.
In my command phase, the Trarch Stalker goes back up to 11, the Plasmancer heals that wound, and then we've just moved up normally with pretty much everything. The Scorpec Lord rolled a 6 for his advance though and managed to get all the way over here near action marker 2. And then at the end of the movement phase, first thing that I will do is the Plasmancer's Harbinger of Destruction. He's within 24 inches of the Cataphrons, which are the closest visible unit, so it'll hit them. So 3 dice, 4s do mortal wounds. Oh, 2 mortal wounds to a Cataphron. And then also at the end of the movement phase, the Plasmancer will start to do the action. Then we're on to the shooting phase. I'm going to start with the Immortals. They can actually all see the Cataphrons. There's a window in that building there, so they'll shoot at them. So 5 shots from them, hitting on 3s. Well, they all hit. They wound on 4s, because the toughness 5. That's 3 wounds, and AP-2.
3 5+ saves. Made 2. You know what, I'll spend a command point to try and save the grab man. Are you a bit greedy? No. Wrong with the grab is destroyed.
So I've got the Trarch Stalker, which is going to shoot at them as well. 6 shots, because it's got the twin heavy Gauss cannon for this game, hitting on 3s. It hit once. Wounds on a 3. That's a wound, AP-3.
6 plus invulnerable save. Yes.
That didn't go so well, so I'm going to start focusing on the Skitarii Rangers instead now, beginning with the Tomb Blades. So the one on the front with the Gauss is within 15 inches, so it gets 4 shots, which hit on 3s. That only hits once. Wounds on a 3. Nope. And then 4 shots from the twin Tesla carbine, which also hit on 3s. That's 3 hits. 6s would have done 2 additional hits, but none of those. And it's strength 5, so wounds on 3s. 3 wounds, but no AP, but this one has the nebula scope, so it ignores the benefits of colour.
Yeah, so it's got a 4+ save. And I made 2, so 1 Skitarii will die. Take away this rifleman down here.
I'll do the warriors next. They're all in range of a Skitarii Ranger, so we'll shoot them as well. 9 shots hitting on 3s. Oh, 9 hits. Wounding on 3s. 6 wounds.
6 4+ saves. Made 3, so that's 3 more dead Skitarii. So I'll just take away the 3 riflemen on the ground floor. The Alpha is still in coherency with people above him.
Royal Warden would also shoot at them. 2 shots on 3s. They both miss. And last of all, the Scorpec Lord can see a Cataphron Destroyer through that window. He's not quite in range of the Skitarii, so he'll shoot at the Cataphrons. 2d3 shots. 3. Hitting on 3s because he's advanced, but he normally hits on 2s. It's an assault weapon, so 1 miss. Strength 6, so wounding on 3s. Oh, no, nothing.
And that's going to be it for shooting. Skitarii Rangers have to make a battle shock test. They'll be leadership 8 because they've got the data tether and the near my warlord. So that's actually leadership 9, so on a 6 they'll fail. Yeah, they're fine. And that's actually at the end for the battle round. No units destroyed on either side, so no points for attrition. And we'll be on to Imperium turn 2. So my command phase, I got up to 3 command points, gaining another miracle dice, or 6. I'll do the Bulwark Imperative as my Doctrine Imperative for an extra save for my Skitarii, and for my Canticle I'll pick Shroud's Arm so that they count as being in light cover. And then at the end of the command phase as well, the Tech Priest Engineer finishes doing the action and I gain 5 victory points. So like last time, we'll go over my movement near the bottom of the board. Let you know Assault Intercessors have moved up, Skitarii are going to stand still, the Canoness is going to move in amongst them. The Cataphrons have moved up, getting their flamers in range of the Tomb Blades. The Tech Priest Dominus has moved up behind so he can get his Volkite weapon in range. The Engineer is going to stay where he is, he's going to start doing the action again. The Assault Intercessors with the Plasma Pistol advanced, getting themselves between the Cataphron Destroyers and the Scorpec Lord. Then at the top of the board, the Aggressors have moved out and they are just in range to shoot at the Destroyer Lord with their flamers as well. Slight adjustment there, the Engineer actually has to move a little bit so you can get within lookout range of the Skitarii Alpha, but then he will perform the action at the end of the movement phase. Start shooting with the Cataphron Destroyers. They'll put the 2 Flamers into the Tomb Blades and the 2 Heavy Plasmas, which will supercharge and go into the Triarch Stalker. So we'll do the Flamer shots. So this is 2d6 plus 4 automatic hits for 12. And these only wound on 5s though, because of the high toughness. 4 wounds.
Both Tomb Blades have the shield veins, so they have a 3+ save. Oh, hey, we failed 2 though, so 1 will die. I'm going to spend a command point, just try and keep 1 alive. It'll stop the Skitarii Plasma Gun, for example, just killing it, probably. Yeah, there we go, so 1 wound.
And we got 2d6 heavy plasma shots at the Triarch Stalker for 7. 4s are on 1s. Reroll that 1 into a hit. I will command point one of those 2s as well. Into a miss. So only 3 hits that wound on 4s. 2 wounds.
2 5+ invulnerable saves. Made 1, failed 1, so 2 damage down to 9 remaining.
Down here at the bottom, there's 2 of those Assault Intercessors are in pistol range of the Immortals, so they might as well have a shot. 2 shots on 3s, getting 2 hits, wounding on 5s, nothing. We'll do the Tech Priest Dominus next. I'll shoot both his guns at the Tomb Blades. So I'll roll the Serpenta first, because there's a bike on 1 wound. This hits on a 3, because it's -1 to hit, so it missed. And then 3 shots with the Volkite, these hit on 3s as well. 2 hits. Wounding on 3s because it's went 6. 6s do 2 mortal wounds in addition. Oh, nothing. Do the Aggressors next. They're only in range of the Destroyer Lord, so they'll try and roast him with their gauntlets. 66 automatic hits. 25 hits, wounding on 5s. So that's actually 12 wounds.
And a 3+ save. 4 wounds, he's down to 2.
Just got the Skitarii left, and they're going to put everything into the Crypto Thralls. And I will supercharge the Plasma as well, so I'll do the Plasma first, because it's probably the most important one. 2 shots on 3s, reroll 1s. We'll reroll that 1. 2 hits. Wounding on 3s, because they're toughness 5. It's 1 wound.
6+ save. Nope, so 1's dead.
4 Galvanic Rifle shots on 3s, rerolling 1s. 3 hits. Wounding on 5s. Getting 1.
4+. Nope, down to 1 wound.
Arc Rifle on a 3, misses. Sniper Rifle on a 3, hits. Wounds on a 3, does. Oh, it does mortal wounds as well. Yeah. So that'll kill it. That wipes out the Crypto Thralls. So I have actually managed to destroy a unit at last. But that's it for the shooting phase. In the charge phase, the Aggressors will try and charge the Destroyer Lord. Well, they need an impressive roll. Not a 6. So that'll be the end of my turn. I expect the next turn is going to get very bloody as we head into Necron's turn 2.
A variety of wounds are healed across the board, and then in the movement phase, the other unit of warriors has arrived from strategic reserve. Obviously that happens in the reinforcement step, but we'll show it now. But obviously they're more than 9 inches from those Assault Intercessors over there, with the Immortals behind them. In the middle, the other Necron warriors have moved up with the 2 characters behind them. The Tomb Blades flew over the box to get to the other side of the board, away from the Aggressors. Triarch Stalker didn't need to move, really. And the Scorpec Lord has moved up to the middle of the board to hopefully charge something. End of the movement phase, first off we do Harbinger of Destruction, which will hit those Assault Intercessors in the middle. 3 dice, 4 pluses to do mortal wounds, there's a mortal wound. And the Plasmancer will do the action again, and actually I did get 5 victory points as well for completing it in my command phase. We'll start off the shooting with the warriors with Chaos Reapers have just arrived, because only 8 of them are in range of those Assault Intercessors, so I don't want to anything else to shoot at them first, otherwise even fewer of them will be able to shoot. 16 shots hitting on 3s, 11 hits wounding on 3s, 8.
I've got 3 regular guys who'll cover from the pipes, so I'll do them first. They have 4+ saves. So that's 3 so far, so that's one dies and one has a wound. So I'll do him next, I've got 2 left. He dies, and then the last one in cover lives, so it's 2 desert summons.
The Immortals will shoot at them as well. We've got 10 shots hitting on 3s. Got 5 hits, wounding on 3s, 4 wounds.
We've got a regular guy in cover, so 4s. He's got 1 wound left, and he's still alive, and then he dies.
The Royal Warden will shoot them as well. Just the 2 shots, he's outside of 15, so they both hit. They wound on 3s. I'm actually going to spend a command point to make one automatically wound with techno-oracular targeting. So there's a wound and not a second wound, so just the one.
Do it on a normal guy who isn't in cover with a 5+ save, he dies as well.
And the Tomb Blades will see if they can finish off the Sergeant. 4 shots on 3s, 3 hits. Wounding on 3s, 2 wounds.
2 4s, he's still alive, made both.
And the Tesla hitting on 3s, 6 additional hits. Ooh, okay. Well, that's actually 8 hits from 4 shots, because we get 4 extra hits. Wounding on 3s, 6 wounds. No AP, but ignoring cover.
6 3+ saves. Ooh, he dies twice over.
Shooting now at the other squad of Assault Intercessors in the middle of the board. We're going to do the Triarch Stalker against them. 6 shots hitting on 3s. 4 hits this time, that's better. Strength 7, so wounding on 3s. Just 2, it's AP minus 3.
Wounded man on a 6. Nope. I'll put it on a guy at the back. He takes D3.
3, he does.
He's dead as well. Oop.
Then the other squad of warriors in the middle will shoot at them, but because the Triarch Stalker has already shot at that unit, they'll be rerolling 1s to hit. And I also spend a command point for Relentless Onslaught, so 6s to hit with rapid fire weapons will score an additional hit. 18 shots because they're all within 12 inches, hitting on 3 hits. 5 6s, so there's some extra hits added in, and 1s to reroll, which turn into 4 more hits. Wounding on 4s. Only 8 wounds.
Down to just Sergeant Plasma Pistol.
And the Scorpec Lord is going to have a go at Sarge, because it would be really good to finish off a unit. 2d3 shots. 3, hitting on 2s, because they didn't advance this turn. They do. They wound on 3s. 1.
He's fine.
So that brings us to the charge phase, where the Scorpec Destroyer will charge just that Sergeant. He rolls a 5, which will hit. I'll just go there. As long as he kills him, he can pile into the Cataphrons, which is the most important part. He'll use his big Hyperphase Harvester, which is 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, because it's -1 hit base. But he rerolls 1s, because of his own ability. Oh, okay. Yeah, 2 hits. Wounding on 2s. Yeah, well, he's dead, because it's AP minus 4, 3 damage, but still.
Sarge goes down.
And we'll consolidate just to there, getting in range of the Cataphrons.
Now the Cataphrons get to fight back. They need to pile in from where they are. 6 attacks on 4s, rerolling 1s. Reroll those 2 1s. Getting 4 hits. Wounding on 5s. Only getting 1.
Yeah, 3+ save. And he takes a wound. I'm going to command point that because I kind of need him to be at as many wounds as possible. Yeah, there we go, he's alright.
That is the end of the turn, and at the end of the battle round, the Necrons destroyed 2 units to my 1, so they all get 4 points for attrition, go up to 9 victory points. So we're on to Imperium, turn 3. So I gain a command point, go up to 3, and another miracle die at 3. I won't bother with a Doctrine Imperative, but I will use Chant of the Remorseless Fist as my canticle for a +1 strength in melee. So in my movement phase, the Cataphrons are going to fall back from the Destroyer Lord. The Canoness is going to come around the 2 Tech Priests to come out of the building, see if she can actually do something in this game. 2 Tech Priests are going to stay where they are, the Skitarii are going to stay where they are, and the Aggressors are going to move down to head off the Destroyer Lord. Also at the end of the command phase, I gained 5 victory points for completing the action, and then at the end of the movement phase, the Engineer will do it again, and then we'll be on to the shooting phase. Well, I'll start with the Aggressors, and they're going to flame the Destroyer Lord again, since he's the only one in range. So 66 automatic hits. 25 hits, wounding on 5. And that's actually 12 wounds again.
3+ saves. Yeah, there's 3 fails in there.
So that is enough to finish off the Destroyer Lord. Now we'll do the Tech Priest Dominus next. He's going to put the Volkite into the Tomb Blades, and then the Phosphor Serpenta into them as well. If it's not in range, it'll go into the Warriors. We'll do the Volkite first, because it does 2 damage, so 3 shots hitting on 3s. Well, they all hit. Wounding on 3, 6s do 2 more wounds. So it's just 2 wounds.
3+, made both.
And then the Serpenta shot misses. Finally got the Skitarii Rangers. Sniper will shoot at the Plasma Answer again, and then everyone else will shoot at the Tomb Blaze as well. And I will supercharge the Plasma Caliber as well. So we'll do the shot at the Technomancer. That hits. Wounds on a 3. It does.
Still only a 6 to save. No, or... ooh. Actually, that's a success because he's actually covered from the container, which does give light cover.
And you've got the plasma at the Tomb Blades on 4s rolling. They both hit. Wounding on 3s. They both wound.
We'll do a 6+ on the one with the Tesla. Nope. So that's dead, and the one with the... And the Gauss one has a 5+ because it has the Shadow Loom. No, so that's actually, they're both dead because it's 2 damage each.
With all of my shooting over, I'm actually going to have the aggressors try and charge these Necron warriors. Because of the wall is in the way, they won't get overwatched. They get an 11, that's going to be enough to get them in. So that is enough to get them to there.
At the start of the fight phase, an aggressor might take a mortal wound from the Plasmancer. No, we need a 4+.
We'll just pile in like that. 10 attacks from the aggressors, hitting on 4s. 6 hits. Yeah, I'll spend a command point to reroll one of those. No, that's a miss. So 6 hits, winning on 2s, with no save. So that's 5 dead warriors.
I'll take them away strategically to block off access to the characters, but then I'll try and reanimate. 5 rerolling ones. 1 5, just 1. So brought back there, and then I'll attack back. 5 attacks on 3s, 3 hits, wounding on 5s, nothing.
No morale test needed for those warriors. They have +1 leadership anyway, so that'll be the end of my turn, and we're heading to Necron's turn 3.
So we regained another wound on the Triarch Stalker. The warriors at the bottom have moved out towards the Cataphrons. The Immortals jumped up onto the roof so they can see the aggressors. The 2 characters have run away from the aggressors. The Raw Warden in the command phase used his adaptive strategy on those unit warriors so they can fall back and still shoot, and they're basically just blocking the way through to the characters. The Triarch Stalker itself didn't move. Plasmancer, at the end of the movement phase, we'll do Harbinger of Destruction first, and then he'll start the action after I've done that. The aggressors for potentially... no, just 1 mortal wound. Open the shooting with the Triarch Stalker, we'll shoot the aggressors. Shots hitting on 3s. 4 hits. Wounding on 3s. 3.
The wounded man is in cover, so he gets a 5+ save.
One at a time.
Oh, never mind.
Well, apparently you rolled them all, so we didn't have to roll them one at a time. We'll do the unit of warriors that fell back and can still shoot at the aggressors. 10 shots on 3s, rerolling 1s because the Triarch Stalker did shoot at them. So that will help for that one. Yes, so 3 misses. Wounding on 5s. 0. The Raw Warden will shoot at them. 4 shots hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. No 1s, just the 2 hits, which wound on 4s. 2 wounds.
So yeah, the guy in cover is still alive somehow, so I'll do this properly this time. So he has a 4+, which he makes, and then a 4+, which he makes.
We'll do the Immortals shooting at them, and I'll spend a command point for Relentless Onslaught. So 10 shots hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, 6s, and an additional hit. Reroll 2 1s. To a 6 and a 2. So actually, we've got 3 6s and 3 misses, so 10 hits. Wounding on 4s. 5.
Yeah, so 4+ save for the guy in cover, 2 at a time. He fails 1. Hey, I'll command point that 3. No, it's a fail. So 3 left, 1 at a time. 4, yep. 4, no, finally dies. And a 5+ for the regular man, takes a wound.
And finally, I've got the other unit of warriors. They're only really in range of the Cataphrons in any numbers, so I'll shoot everything at them. We'll have 20 shots hitting on 3s. 14 hits. Wounding on 4s. 7.
7 5+ saves for the Cataphrons. Oh, I only made 1, so they are actually destroyed.
Oh.
Possibly for the first time ever, the Cataphrons go down.
But I'm out of shooting, and I'm certainly not going to charge that unit of aggressors, because I'll just overwatch them.
So that is the end of the Necron turn, and the battle round where I have destroyed 2 Necron units, the Tomb Blades and the Destroyer Lord, and only lost 1 with the Cataphrons, so I actually get the points for attrition. We're actually tied on 14 at the end of the 3rd battle round. So in my command phase, I finish the action, go up to 19 victory points, gain a command point going up to 2, gain another miracle die, well 1. In my movement phase, the aggressors are going to move up, see if we can get as close as we can to the Plasmancer. The Skitarii are going to stay where they are, as is the Tech Priest Dominus. The Canoness is going to move out, and the Tech Priest Agency is just going to hide around the building, and he is just within 3 of the objectives, so he will do the action again. And we'll do the aggressors first, because they're the important one. They're going to fire their Flamestorm Gauntlets at those warriors. 4d6 automatic hits, getting 12. So there's actually a 1 in that number of shots, so I'll spend a command point to re-roll it. Into a 3, so it's actually 14 hits. 14 hits, wounding on 4s. Getting 9, looks like.
9 4+ saves. Fail 5, they're all dead.
So I'll do the Skitarii next. Unfortunately, the 2 Necron characters have lookout set from the Triarch Stalker, so the sniper's going to shoot the Plasmancer. Everyone else is going to shoot these warriors. So we've got the single sniper shot on the Technomancer, Plasmancer rather, hits with a 6. Wounds on 3, it does.
Doesn't have any cover, so a 6 to save. Nope.
D3 damage. 1. I'll do the Alpha's Phosphor Blast Pistol, seeing as he hardly ever gets to shoot that. It's D3 shots, but it's a blast weapon, so it's going to be 3 shots at those warriors. 3 shots hitting on 3s on 1s. 2 hits. Strength 5, so it wounds on 3s, getting 1.
Someone who might have cover. Fails to save anyway.
4 galvanic rifle shots on 3s rerolling, so that's 3 hits. 4s, 2 wounds, AP -1.
Cover again, so 4s. Another 1 dead, it's 2 so far.
Arc rifle, 2 shots on 3s rolling, yep. Wounding on 3s. Nothing. Plasma, 2 hits. 3s, 2 wounds, AP -3.
Might as well try for some 6s. Nope, 2 more dead.
That's 4 dead at the end of all that. Do any of them come back?
5, 1 to reroll, 2 come back.
Take Priest Dominus is the last to shoot, and he'll put his Volkite into the Immortals and then the Serpenter into the Warriors. 3 shots from the Volkite, hitting on 2s. They all hit. Wounding on 3s, 6s do 2 mortal wounds. Oh, we've only got a 6, so they all wound, and there's 2 mortal wounds.
No AP though, so 2 plus saves. Oh, third one, so that's, 3 dead. Do they come back? 1 does, so 2 dead.
2 off the back. Serpenter at the Warriors, hits. Strength 5, so 3s to wound? No. Finally, I've got the Canoness, she's going to throw a frag grenade at those Warriors. D6 shots, minimum 3, so 3. Hitting on 2s, they all hit. Wounding on 5s, 1 wound.
3 plus save, gives a cover. Yes.
Now onto the charge phase, do the aggressors first, they're the important ones, they're going to charge just the Plasmancer. 5 is going to be enough, I think. Finally, the Canoness is going to charge those Warriors.
And I will spend my command point to Overwatch. So 0 command points left, 16 shots hitting on 6s. Got 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. Yep, 2.
I'll just take the saves. She's got cover, so 4s. Maybe both. And then I will use a miracle dice to make sure she gets in. So I'll substitute 1 with a 6, and then she gets a 12. So she'll go in there.
And because it's defensible cover, I would have actually done a hold steady and got +1 to hit with Overwatch, but I didn't roll any 5s, so still only 2 hits.
Right, at the start of the fight phase, the Plasmancer might do a mortal wound to the aggressors.
Yeah, I'm not going to heroically intervene with the Royal Warden. On 4. Nope.
I'll do the aggressors first. They will pile in. I think we will bring in the Royal Warden, and then they will punch the Plasmancer. 7 attacks hitting on 4s, getting 3. And I think I will command point reroll 1, just to try and guarantee he dies. That's 4 hits. 4 hits, wounding on 2s. 6 damage.
Yeah, he only has a 4 plus save base and no invulnerable save.
So Plasmancer will go down. And then just for the sake of it, we'll consolidate into the Royal Warden as well. And then we've got the Canoness. She has 4 attacks with her Power Sword. Hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. I haven't been saying it, but she's the only target for her Rod of Command, so she'll just have it on her all the time. 6s are an extra hit, so 5 out of 4. Wounding on 4s. That's 2 dead warriors.
Do they come back? 1 does. So those 2 there will die, and this one will come back over here. The warriors will just pile in a bit, and then we've got 7 left to hit her. Hitting on 3s. All 6 hits. Wounding on the 3s. No, just 3.
3 plus armour. Failed 1. So she's down to 4 wounds.
And then I've got the Royal Warden, who's going to pile in around slightly, try and get a bit closer to the warriors. And he has 3 attacks back, hitting on 3s. Getting 2. Wounding on 4s, because he's strength 5, that's 1.
3 plus save. Made it. Well, that is it for the turn. No more out has to be made. On to Necron's turn 4.
So I gain a command point. The Royal Warden is within 9 inches of the warriors, so we can use adaptive strategy on them to let them fall back and shoot. So I had to fall the warriors back in that sort of way, because it was the only way they could mean they wouldn't be within heroic intervention range of the Canoness, although unfortunately she's now the only thing they can shoot at. The Immortals will come down from the building, and they'll have to start the action at the end of the movement phase, because they can do the action on action point 3 as well. And it's not an objective, so it doesn't matter that the Canoness is within 3 inches of it, because there's nothing in the rules for this that says that there can't be any enemy models near the action point. And the Royal Warden has run away and hidden in the building, and the Trilak Stalker has just sort of moved around a bit to face those aggressors. And I guess we'll open the shooting phase with exactly that. 6 shots on 3s. And 4 hits. We're winning on 3s. 3 wounds. -3.
So I have to do these individually. Failed, so Wounded Man takes D3 damage.
He takes 2 and dies.
He's dead, so Sarge saves 1.
So I need a 3 to kill him. No, he only takes 1 wound.
So Wounded Man dies, Sarge is left on 2 wounds.
And the warriors will all shoot at the Canoness. 14 shots hitting on 3s. 9 hits. Wounding on 3s. Ooh, only 4.
I'll spend a miracle dice to save one of those, and then the rest are 4+ invulnerables, making another, so she's down to 2 wounds.
The Triarch Stalker will charge the Lone Sergeant because it actually has a reasonably good melee weapon. Zin, yeah. And the Warriors are going to actually charge the Canoness because the Imperium killed 2 units, so in order to deny them attrition, I need to kill the Canoness as well. Yeah, they're in. So they'll charge like that, and I'll fight with them first. 7 attacks on 3s. 6 hits. Wounding on 3s. Only 3.
So I'll spend that 3 miracle dice to save one of those, and I've got 2 3+ saves. Made both.
The Triarch Stalker. It has 3 attacks that hit on 3s, because that's in its highest profile bracket, so it gets 2 hits. These wound on 3s, because it's strength 7. So 2 wounds, AP -2.
2 5+ saves. Ooh, made
nearly.
1. So the aggressors are wiped out.
Yeah, it's 3 damage.
Finally, the Canoness gets to fight back. 4 attacks on 2s, rolling 1s. You roll that 1. And 2 6s, so that's actually 6 out of 4 hits. Wounding on 4s. 4 dead warriors.
4 coming back, potentially. No, 1 comes back.
And at the end of the battle round, I destroyed 2 Necron units with the Plasmats and the Warriors to the Necrons 1. So again, attrition again, get another 4 victory points going up to 23.
But we can call the game there, the reason being that even if I finish the action with the Immortals and win attrition for the final battle round, I will gain 9 victory points for doing that, going up to 23. The Imperium are already on 23 and they're about to finish the action. I expect they're also going to win attrition again.
So that'll be an Imperium victory. Then we'll recount that game for you now. So that was the game for issue 57 of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium magazine. How did you think that went?
Probably not as well as I thought it was going to finish, because obviously you got the first turn and got the first shooting in, and I thought that was going to be quite decisive, but then your shooting wasn't very good, and then my shooting wasn't very good in my first turn either, and so there wasn't much killed, and I was doing quite well by the end of turn 3, but then a couple of things went well for you, like the aggressor's charge, and then in the end I ended up being kind of overwhelmed.
Yeah, I mean, the aggressor's charge was pretty clutch, although I think winning attrition in the 3rd battle round, I think it was. Well, that kept me in the game, and then the aggressors managed to wipe out those warriors and the plasmats, so basically swung the game in my favour. Stopping you doing the action was the important bit.
Yeah, it wasn't that unlikely a charge for them to make. It was about 30% chance or something, but the fact that you did make it...
And the one guy in cover made so many saves.
Yes, actually, the fact that you charged and then the unit would just refuse to die, because I shot almost everything I had at the aggressors and they didn't die. I think it was also important, actually, you killed my crypto thralls reasonably early, because they could have stood around and done the action and also protected the plasmaster at the same time.
And I think actually attrition was pretty key, because even though I'd have lost a lot of morals, I think most of my units still had a lot more wounds. You still had some fairly weak units like the crypto thralls and the tomb blades that are fairly easy to destroy.
Yeah, having only 4 wound units that can't be protected by Lookout Sir, because you obviously had several characters who are not that hard to kill individually, but they're characters so you can hide them at the back. I considered taking Slay the Warlord, for example, but actually I realised what you do is just hide your Warlord at the back, and I would never get those 6 victory points, so I wouldn't be able to do it. So the fact that we both chose attrition was actually what made the game interesting, really.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how we interpreted the rules for doing the action correctly. It does say 1 unit can do it, so if you can stop the unit doing the action, then you can stop it happening.
Yeah, because normally if you can do it with multiple units, it will say any number of units from your army can start to do it. So maybe what they intended was that you could do it with multiple units if you were near multiple action markers. That might have made more sense.
And also, it doesn't say anything about the marker being removed or anything.
Yeah, so you could do it a maximum of 4 times, then you'd actually have to move out and secure the battlefield.
And the fact that they're action markers, not objective markers, which means that certain things like that one stratagem for the Battle Sisters wouldn't have helped, and you can't do things like the Supremacy secondary objective or raise the banners or anything.
The melee Necron army, well actually firstly if you add up how many power it costs, which is something we'll learn about soon, is about how to balance armies, it's actually considerably less than the shooting army that I took.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was really much of a choice if you look at it, especially if you were playing with attrition, because you've got a Wraith in there that's going to be very easy to kill. The Spider wouldn't be any trouble compared to the Triarch Stalker for the Necrons to destroy either.
Yeah, you've got the flayed ones, but that's 5 1-wound models, and your tunics of scarabs, they're not very tough. And I also don't think that army just has any real actual hitting power. The Scorpic Destroyers and the Scorpic Lord would be the only things that really do any damage. Well, especially if you took this army, because you've got all the shooting firepower, and actually the Space Marines are really good in melee anyway.
Yeah,
so
and they have a lot of wounds as well, so it takes a while to get rid of them.
Yes, and the reason I was able to deal with the Space Marines is because I had all the guns.
Yeah, and I don't think the Sisters would have really done any better. They probably would have done worse, I think, because they just don't have the ranged firepower.
Yeah, and also also, I think the Sisters units would have been easier for me to kill and pick up points for attrition as well. Like the Repentia, the Seraphim's only 5 models. Again, if I took the gun army against that, I would have just shot everything.
Yeah, and they probably wouldn't have done very well against the melee army either. And it's also worth considering that regardless of which army you picked, I think all of your heroes were fairly good choices. I mean, the Raw Warden didn't really fit into the melee army, but he at least has a decent gun. Whereas either my 2 tech priests are standing around not doing much, or have a Canoness who's just sort of here. A Space Marine character would have done much better.
And a Space Marine character, I feel like, might have made slightly more sense as well, because you had Space Marine in both of your arms.
Yeah, we could have had one of each. So we also got a new Tomb Blade. Kind of weird with the Tomb Blades, where they make you make 3 different ones, whereas for the Wraith, you can just put whatever you want on it. That seems a bit odd.
Yeah, well, we started getting the Tomb Blades before they started introducing the idea that you can pick the weapons you want, so they just told us what weapons to make. We could have just said with this Tomb Blade, you can make it however you want, but we always follow what the magazine says to do with these things, so we're going to have this one with those guns, and then the third one will have a different gun again.
I mean, the Tesla's perhaps not the best weapon against this Imperium collection. It's more useful against hordes.
Yeah, it gets 4 shots at a slightly longer range than the Gauss. They're just not such good shots, I'd say. That's just what it comes down to. And although the Nebula Scope does make the most sense with that gun, I suppose, both the different gun and the different war gear just makes it slightly irritating when you've got a unit of them, because you have to roll them all individually. And similarly, when being shot at, one of them has an invulnerable save. It's not how I would build a unit, let's say that.
Well, otherwise, I don't think there's too much more to say about this game or this issue. So, as always, if you do like this content, do leave a like and subscribe. If you've been playing along, let us know you've been getting on, or whether you bothered to build the Tomb Blade, as they say in the magazine, or did you build it your own way. Let us know. We've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye for now.